Hello everyone and welcome to another Taunton-focused nonprofit. I'm Jay Pateakos, Executive Director of the Office of Economic and Community Development here in Taunton. And we are on episode 24. We are here at the beautiful offices of the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce. I've got Kris Silva, President and CEO, and Elizabeth LaBrecque, who is the Director of Membership Development. Is that the
word? Yeah, that works.
But thank you guys.
Thanks, Jay.
I wanted to get a little bit into the, everybody sees you guys around and doing, I want to get into the taste of Greater Taunton later and stuff like that, but everybody sees the logo and sees all the great work you do, but most people have no idea exactly what a chamber does.
Yeah.
Especially from my history of chamber, it's one of those things where people, that's the question you get often or not. So just get a little bit into the history as far as how long chamber's been around.
Well, we've been around since 1917, so next year we'll be rounding on 110 years that it was incorporated. So obviously a long-standing institution here in the city. It started out as a Taunton Chamber of Commerce, became at some point the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce, which we're really proud of to be able to incorporate our neighboring municipalities into the work that we do. So we cover the city of Taunton in the towns of Rainham, Berkeley, and Dighton currently. So I won't give you the play-by-play of the last 110 years almost, but here we are today, and obviously the chamber has had to adapt and adjust to changing times, and I feel like we've been doing that specifically in recent years, and becoming much more inclusive. We've become more engaged in the community with hands-on service. We've really expanded our reach into our nonprofit community and connecting them to our businesses so that we can be a mutually beneficial arrangement and also just benefit the greater Taunton area.
Yeah, no, that's great. And tell me a little bit about where you guys see a chamber's role is now. I know the chamber is like the voice of business. You guys are the advocates where the businesses are too busy conducting their business, and you guys step up and advocate for them and stuff like that. But how can you describe what a chamber does?
Well, we can break it down into many different components. I'll let Liz chat about several of them, and then I'll catch up on the rest.
Sure. So as a chamber, we're focused on the community. Your biggest benefit as far as being a part of us would be visibility. So we are out, and we always say, even though if you're not able to attend, we're constantly working, for you. So a big part of our push for visibility for our members is online and social media promotion. We of course act as a referral agency. We are advocating. We have a really wonderful government affair council that I think Kris will touch on. So just out and about and pushing your name, pushing your products, sharing all and giving all the love on social media, and just really trying to grow your visibility and your brand as much as we can for you.
Yep, so that's, obviously that's one of the benefits. You talked and touched on the advocacy piece, so we are doing that, and it's also the accessibility. So we started, again, when I started about 5 years ago, we started a quarterly Q&A, so that's been very popular. We have our mayor, Shauna O'Connell for the city, is on usually twice a year with you, Jay, and Patrick Delarusso, so providing our members with some really quality transparency and important information and insight into what's happening in the city. So that type of access. We also do a twice-a-year legislative update where we bring in the local delegates who cover the communities that we cover, and that's a fantastic opportunity for our members to meet them face to face and discuss whatever their business needs might be, and hear from them as far as what's happening with policy and what's going to be benefiting our small business community from the Hill.
Great. And talk about some of the hurdles. I know it's difficult in chamber world because, and I was given this as an example, and I always loved it when I was in the chamber world. It's like people talk about their membership, or debating on whether they're going to continue their membership or whatever. They said it's similar to a person who has a gym membership who complains that they're fat and then doesn't go. And it's similar to the chamber because I'm sure you guys are all over the place, and it's hard for me to keep up with all the events that you have going on. I mean, you've had the most ribbon cuttings ever.
Yes.
I mean, so it's a testament to your chamber that you're having an impact in the business community. But it's always a quandary, and we talk about this often, like when people renew and they're like, what have you done for me lately kind of thing. And it's like, it's a constant cycle for you guys to prove yourself, and it's kind of going to be a little bit of a pain. It's like, we've done a lot for you, but unfortunately you've missed it because you haven't looked, or and stuff like that. And that's got to be some of the stuff that you're constantly trying to do, your social media stuff. Just we're here, we're having an impact, please reach out. You're always willing to take questions and and stuff like that. And that's
in fact, I mean, when I first was made aware of this position, I wasn't sure exactly what chambers did at the time, so I had to educate myself around that. And I came from a background of nonprofits and working. I ran a service program where people were immersed in international communities doing service. So when I started here, I thought, this is a business related type of venture. I'm used to the nonprofit world. But soon after I started, during COVID, when I went to meet with a member with our masks on, and he started telling me about his challenges. Obviously, he was a bakery, and certainly during COVID it was challenging for many businesses. And I thought, I think we can help him. And when I realized that we could serve our members in those ways of getting the word out, providing them with educational opportunities, how best to market yourself, not only during COVID, but post-COVID. We have a marketing session about social media. We have a session about your website, how to best market yourself online. So the education piece is part of it as well. So yes, we love when people come out. If you come out, you're going to get the most out of your membership. That relationship one-on-one was a staple of the chamber in 1917, and it still is today. So that building a relationship and connection to a person face-to-face, even though so much is done online, is still incredibly invaluable. But that being said, not everyone can do that. So, to Liz's point, we're working for you whether you're able to physically come out or not. A lot of the educational programming we do is online, so it's on Zoom. We record them. So you're able to pop on and look at an HR resource group session on, FMLA, on PFML and sexual harassment, and, how to, hire and fire folks, recruitment, retention, and things like that. So there's a lot of education that's happening, and you are able to access that whether you're physically able to be present at an event or not.
Yeah, and it's a huge chamber benefit, because if you look back on how much this would cost, if you hired somebody to teach you how to do social media, and I would say from experience, 90% of the businesses need help with social media, just in so many different ways. So this is just like another example of like the stuff that you guys do that help businesses that we need to get across.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're really proud of the fact that, kind of bringing me back to my roots with the nonprofits, is that from day one, I really said, we need to bolster this connection between the nonprofits and the community, in the for-profit community, because we're all in this together, and it just helps raise everyone up. So, we started with kind of online giving during COVID and bolstering that, and finally, about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, we started the Community Service Corps, which is chamber members coming together to hands-on serve our community, whether it's at the Boys and Girls Club, Camp Riverside. We volunteered at the Whittington Block Party. So again, it allows the members an opportunity to do things that I think that they're interested in doing. They don't know where to start, they don't know who to call. How do you get involved in volunteering? And we facilitate that. So the chamber is a very strong facilitator. We also have a nonprofit network, so members of our chamber who are nonprofits come together every other month and talk about the challenges that they're facing. They share resources and support. So much like the HR resource group, we do the same for our nonprofits.
Yeah, and you're always reaching out. I mean, you reach out to the city and you're like, we've got a customer that's looking for a bigger building and stuff like that. It's all the stuff that all the work that you do that people have no idea, all the hard work behind the scenes that you're doing that people don't have any
I try to tell people when I speak to them about joining, when someone's looking at a chamber, a lot of times they're looking at, growing dollar-wise. What can you do for me? How can you help me make more money? But I try to explain to them that one of the biggest benefits is really the community and the support that you're entering in. Our members are very supportive of one another. Of course, purchasing products, using services, but to be able to be in a room or be connected with like-minded people who are having the same troubles, who have had successes, Something as simple as, I don't know where to start, as far as security cameras to put in, who did you use, what worked, all the way up to, high level, bigger picture, really growing their service. So we're really proud of how supportive our members are of one another. It's always so interesting to see who is like talking and connecting at these events. That sometimes these people are together in the corner. I'm like, I never would have put the two of them together. What are they
That's
talking
good though.
about?
That's rare.
Yeah.
That's rare because I remember when I did my chamber stuff, I always wanted to take people that didn't know each other and force them together, because you tend to always get attracted to the same people, and that doesn't help your business.
Yeah.
She already knows what you do. You need somebody over here that might be able to help you tap into your business.
That's what I really enjoy about our networking events, because it's at least one a month. You're going to have a chance to come to one of them. And there's always, you have your people who like to come, kind of your regulars, but at every one we do, there are people who have never been before, new folks. And that's what you want, because you want, if you have the same 10 people, there's only so much that can happen.
Right.
So I love bringing in different people, and we get excited by that.
I'm really proud of how diverse the group is. I was actually a member of the Taunton Chamber in my 2 previous career positions before working here. And towards the end, I'd be like, do I have to go to these things? Like, how many bankers and lawyers can I talk to over and over and over again? And they're wonderful. We love our bankers and our bigger members, but to be in the room now and to see how diverse it is, and to see how many, different types of businesses and services, and, just representation of all sorts of demographics, because it's really exciting to see the growth. To have been a member 15 years ago and to see where it is now is, something I'm proud to be a part of.
And it's wild to see your members that show up at the ribbon cutting. Sometimes they outnumber the actual business people that have come, and that's pretty impressive. But talk about the ribbon cuttings. I know last year was like a banner year for. We
had about 35 ribbon cuttings that we did last year. Unbelievable. I think the year before might have been, maybe a little more than half of that. So that just is a testament to the fortitude and the dreams, and kind of really, and I will say, a real shout out to the city, and that's not just because you're sitting here, Jay. I say this all the time, and obviously you just recognize for the permitting and how you try to really make it as easy as possible for business to open here, and you're really committed to that, and beyond the ribbon cutting day. And I've heard that from our members, and just, how you're regularly checking in with them and making sure, are things still going, how are they going? Can I help you with anything? So that's made, that's kind of brought a lot of ribbon cuttings to the table for us. And we're really proud of that. And again, we tell our members, it's an hour out of your day, but it's so inspiring. It's inspiring to us. It's a favorite part of what we do. And for any other business in the community to go there and see someone's dream being realized in that moment, and for the owner to see all of these other fellow businesses in the community, not just their staff and their family, but to see other people in the community coming out for them, means a lot. So those are very special.
Yeah, it starts at the top too with Shauna, Mayor Shauna O'Connell, and being a business-focused mayor. That's a really big help, and I know she's there for 99.9%. I know the 0.01% I have to talk at. She does a great job of advocating for the businesses and always trying to figure out ways to help.
She's very genuine. We have, noticed when she comes, she makes it a point to go and speak to the owner, to speak to the family, to take away a bit of knowledge, and then use that when she is, up there saying her piece before the ribbon is.
Yeah,
she does.
You can always tell the people that don't, and it always aggravates me, because it's just, did you meet the business? Or whatever. And Shauna just always takes the time, like you said, to talk to the business owners and get their heartbeat, kind of thing. Yeah,
I do want to point out though, in case anyone's wondering why the Taunton Area Chamber is being featured in a nonprofit feature program. It's because the Chamber actually is a not-for-profit, which again was news to me when I first started learning about it. We are a not-for-profit. We're not a 501c3 charitable nonprofit, but we're a 501c6 business nonprofit. And on the plus side, 95% of your dues, though not charitable donation, tax deductible as a business expense, however. 95% tax deductible. So I just wanted to get that plug in there.
That's good.
As well.
So we've got some events coming up. I know it's hard to keep up with you guys. There's always something, and I'm like, am I going to that? But so I know you're preparing for the next Taste of Greater Taunton.
Taste of Greater Taunton. We were really happy, along with a great deal of help from you and your staff, to launch that event last year. I know it had been something that happened in the city years ago, and we were happy to bring that back in partnership with you. And we launched it last year, I think, to great success. for year one, and we're excited to do it again this year. It will be in March.
And you'll be annually in March.
Annually in March going forward. Yeah, that's the plan. So that's a tremendous opportunity to bring and showcase our local flavor. Whether it's bakeries, restaurants, caterers, home bakers that have their business, food distributors, exactly. Thank you.
A lot of we have our industrial park here, which a lot of Tauntonians are familiar with, but don't necessarily know who's there. And we were really lucky to have several of the large food distributors in our industrial park participate last year. And this is our first, real significant community event that we did. So it was really great to see not members, of course we love our members, but actual, community members out and about, and so happy that we were able to bring it back.
And it was quite an amazing amount of food that was being offered that night. No one went away hungry, because I think we had 20 plus different restaurants and food options.
Great variety. We're just really proud of the diversity of flavors in the city, and providing an opportunity to showcase those. And you wouldn't even think of some of the folks who are there. You have sometimes, even like Honey Farms Market will be there this year. They're really excited. They're a market, with a gas station, but they have their own things, so whether it's New York Bagel or places like that that you might not think of would want to go to a taste of event, it's drawing those folks to and showcasing them. So we're happy to do that.
That sounds great. Is there anything I'm missing about Chamber World before we wrap up? Is there anything else you want people to know? Because I'm looking at it. I was just thinking while you guys were talking. So like the ribbon cutting segment of a chamber membership is like a phase one. It's people come in, you did ribbon cutting, and then it's like, okay, it's year two, what now? And that's kind of like the stuff that you were talking about as far as the programs and the networking and all that stuff. It's almost like a phase two. It's like, and it's important. Both parts are important. Obviously, you want to promote your business with a ribbon cutting, but you also, phase two is like the heart of your chamber membership, where it's like you can have an impact, but you have to also act on this. The chamber can only do so much to get the message and to get you connected. You have to reach out and be like, hey, I need a connection, or can you do a social media thing on me, or because I know you guys do.
We're always happy to make a personal, email or phone call and connection for someone who is looking, to reach out to someone in our membership. But just like you said, just like the gym membership, the more you use it, the greater value it's going to have. So I try to encourage people, and we know that life and seasons ebb and flow. So, we are working behind the scenes. But yes, phase one, ribbon cutting. Phase two, please come out. Please try to utilize, tag us in your social media posts so that we can reshare it for you. Text us, email us. We all make ourselves pretty available. So yes, the more you utilize it, the greater value and the bigger impact it will have.
Yeah, and I also think, where I'm available, we have member orientations every other month for prospects, for new members, for existing members. Just to always be aware of how to maximize your membership. You might not even be aware of all of the hosts of the things that we can offer. So, and I always offer to sit one-on-one with folks who can't make that event, because I do want to sit down with you and say, hey, these are all the things that we do. Where do you fit in based on your availability and what,
You're there entitled to those.
You don't hear that from every chamber.
Yeah. So. Oh, no, I will.
And just to go back, I used to be involved with the Taunton Chamber, and it was mostly like a part-time chamber. So it's amazing what you've done in the years that you've been here, because this was like an afterthought chamber. It was Fall River and New Bedford when they used to be separated, and Taunton was like a part-time entity that people didn't think of too much. And you kind of added this huge level of legitimacy in the people that you've hired to where it's like you guys are front runners now with the other chambers looking at you guys and coming up with ideas based on what you're doing.
We appreciate that, and we're open to, we want to continue to learn and grow, get better. So we learn from our members, we learn from people like you and others that are kind of
always open to feedback. What are members looking for? Where can we improve?
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Appreciate
your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Remember, if you know anybody that has a business, or if you own a business, obviously this team works hard for the businesses in the Taunton area. So give them a shot and get involved. Maybe if there's anything that you take out of this event, this talk is get involved in your business and get involved in the chamber and see where it takes you. And it's amazing places. So thanks again. Wrapping up Taunton Focus Nonprofits number 24 here at the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.